Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America reports more than 24 million Americans are living with seasonal pollen allergies. More than 5 million of those are kids, and a good many of those live right here in the Central Valley.
Now, because of COVID, those kids may be facing another crisis in the classroom, repeatedly being sent home to quarantine and falling behind for having allergy symptoms that may be mistaken for COVID. Jacob Dunn has a problem with school quarantines, not because of COVID, he says, but because of his two sons' allergies.
Both my kids have allergies, and anytime my kids exhibit any symptoms whatsoever, the school sends them home and says that they have to quarantine.
Putting them farther and farther behind in their classes with each quarantine, Dunn says, and forcing them to work harder and harder to catch up, while at the same time trying to keep up with current lessons.
We had one instance where my wife called the school and said, hey, my oldest is having a severe allergy day, he's not going to be in. Without asking any further questions, the school said, oh, he's got symptoms of COVID and he has to quarantine for 10 days.
It's easy to understand why. According to the CDC, some early symptoms of COVID are very similar to symptoms for seasonal allergies or hay fever, something teachers are encouraged to keep an eye out for the safety of their students. But Dunn says that inability to differentiate is now hurting his kids and others with allergies like them.
Stand the schools being cautious and wanting to make sure that kids are being tested. I've seen my kids' grades drop because of it.
From A's and B's for both his sons, Dunn says, to C's and D's and near failing in one class.
The counselors have been fairly good about getting back to us, and there are still some teachers that you can really see care about the students, and they're doing everything they can. It's just really having a huge negative effect on their ability to learn.
Now, there are thousands of kids in the Central Valley who do have allergies, but if a teacher sees a child with symptoms that could be early signs of COVID, they have to ask them to go on quarantine for the safety of the rest of the class and the school. So I spoke to Dr. Praveen Budiga, an allergy specialist with Budiga Family Allergy, Skin and Immunology in Fresno. Dr. Budiga confirmed that the symptoms of seasonal allergy and early COVID are very similar and cannot be reliably recognized without clinical testing. However, Dr. Budiga pointed out that parents can help kids with allergies reduce those allergy symptoms with over-the-counter allergy medications available at your local drugstore. That might help avoid the problem entirely. Dr. Budiga also recommends allergy testing and desensitization treatments that can help minimize allergic reactions. I also spoke with Kelly Avance, Chief Communications Officer for the Clovis Unified School District. Avance says parents of kids with allergies can get a note from their doctor or allergist and put it on file with their child's school. In the event of their child showing symptoms, that could make a difference in determining whether or not the child would have to go home on quarantine or be tested. Avance also says the district makes available tutors who can help kids who fall behind due to quarantine-related absence. Now, what about you? Do you have any solutions that should be heard? Our owner, Sinclair Broadcast Group, is launching this franchise initiative nationwide every week here on Fox 26 News at 10 and Great Day. We'll be bringing you stories of the victories already being won by educators and parents during this unprecedented time in education.